Welcome to Fit Moment. Fit Moment is a demonstration of ways to work parts of the body that don't necessarily work into our routine. Also, for parts of the body that need extra attention. For instance, I've had feet trouble, I think, for over 20 years. I have irregular formation in my foot that causes neuromas and plantar fasciitis. I've gone through different kinds of shoes. I stand on the roller. I do everything that I can do to give those feet some great workouts. So one of the things that we know, I talk about this all the time, especially in roller, is that when we're in shoes, especially running shoes or clogs or something that holds our foot really in place because we are minimizing impact on our body, the side effect of that is the arch of our foot. And our muscles in our feet don't get a workout. They are planks at that point. They are pushing and supporting whatever the weight is of the rest of the body. So what happens a lot is our muscles atrophy in our body. And so that's one of the reasons that half my workouts are barefoot workouts, so that we just get working our feet. I have a lot of things here that I'm going to use in demonstrating the feet work, and I'm going to demonstrate those. You may not have these things on hand, but you can at least kind of mimic what we're trying to do. So this is a Yamuna ball. I used to have about 10 sets of these different sizes. Some of them are they have the kind of that pineapple-y, prickly thing going on there. I only have this one left. I've lost the rest of them. What's great about a Yamuna ball, I took Yamuna ball therapy when I was having my first foot issue. I had Morton's neuroma, which is this big nerve that between the first two toes that swells up and really is horrible on the foot. So one of the things that I was taught to do with Yamuna balls was to start at the top of the foot and separate each toe around the ball. So you push the big toe and the second toe around the ball, and you open up. That's exactly where the neuroma would start to swell. So you open that up. There was a great Yamuna ball therapist in Oakland that I took these classes with. 3 sessions. She took pictures of my feet and how they were shaped. In 3 sessions, they were totally shaped. And then she moved to some island. She actually moved to an island like to Bali or something. All right. And then between the second and third toe, you do the same thing. And then the third and fourth toe, and you press down, and you use more time on it than I'm doing right now. It's a great thing to do, like when you're in one place. If I'm like making a salad and I'm not going to move, I have everything in front of me, I'll step on the Yamuna ball. And then the last 2 toes. And you might have to manually, because my little toe turns under a little bit, I manually have to put the Yamuna ball, or manually pull the toe across the Yamuna ball. Now, what if I don't have a Yamuna ball and I want to do these toe separations? So I'm going to do it on the other foot with a lemon. A lemon has about the same hardness as a Yamuna ball. This one's a Meyer, so it's not as hard as it should be. But if you can get something that's not a Meyer lemon, you can take your foot across, take the toes, the second and third toe. Some people use a tennis ball, which is great for plantar fasciitis, but it's a little too big to use as a Yamuna ball. Some people use golf balls. I would only just say don't press as hard on a golf ball, because a golf ball presses back. The Yamuna ball is kind of a plasticky rubber, so it has a little bit of give, but not a lot. So now I'm going to do my second and third with the lemon. I definitely have to manually separate the toes to get it to go around the lemon. So if you don't have a Yamuna ball and you're using a lemon, first find a really hard lemon. Second, make sure that you're separating each set of toes around the lemon. So one more time. And the last set. So already my feet feel like they've opened up. So just doing this little bit of pressure, not even the required pressure to have a good workout, I already feel a little bit of liberation in the positioning of my foot. While I have a lemon, one of the things I do when my plantar fasciitis flares up, they always say roll the ball, roll the foot on the ball, which I do. But because they also say apply ice, one of the things I do is I put the lemon in the freezer and I make it a frozen lemon. And then I do the plantar fasciitis rotations. I take it around, around the ball of the foot. I circle it around the ball of the foot. And you can also do that. I don't have a tennis ball here, but I have this little ball. You can also do it with your tennis ball if it doesn't float away. And then apply your isolator, because as you know, plantar fasciitis is a swelling. You take it up and down the outside of the foot, but straight down. You're not tilting the foot at all. You're just taking it all the way. Now, what's important in plantars is you get onto that heel, because that's where, let me see if you can see that, that's where that pain radiates to, go onto that heel, right? The other way you can do plantars, of course, is on the roller. The roller is good for everything, right? So along that foot onto that heel. You absolutely flex the foot up and bring the toes down. Flex the foot up and bring the toes down. So I either use tennis ball, a frozen lemon, or I use my roller, which is more likely because I'm using it for so many other things. So let's do the other side. So up and down. Now, as we walk through the world, and I know most of us probably at this stage are picking very carefully, picking the shoes that we wear. Every shoe is going to have some kind of impact on our body. Our feet are our foundation. They are the things we absolutely need to take care of. So I'm all about rolling those feet out as much as possible. So talking about rolling out, you can use your tennis ball. You can use, I have actually put a candle on its side or a jar on its side like this to roll my foot out, right? So rolling your feet is really important because it separates the fibers. So one of the things I do is I start on the outside of the foot and roll. So it doesn't take any balance or anything on the roller to do this, although I know many of you are very good. Then I bring it in part way and I do the roll. And then I flatten it and get into that instep. Make sure you do the full range of motion and then bring the inside down and into the roll. So it would be a lot longer than this, but of course we're in the demonstration class. So let's go to the other side. Nice side. Part way in. I'm doing 4, by the way, at this moment. Straight down. Make sure you do full range of motion. And then inside of the foot. Now I'm going to show you a couple of roller things. I really, really, really want you to hold on while you do these. So if you have a chair, just put it right in front of you, or or a shelf that you can hang on to. So if you have a roller, you step on it and you just roll back and forth in the instep to start. Now this is really effective because your entire body weight is pushed into the roller. And so you are holding, even though you're lifting yourself up for balance, even though you're holding on to something, that body weight is going to create a more effective roll, right? I'm on my mat, which I shouldn't be, but all right, let me get up. Now, but one of the interesting things is we can stay in the instep forever. But what we want to do is hang the toes off the front so the heel gets some of that push, right? So you want to get that heel to get some of that release. And then drop those heels back and let the ball and the metatarsal get some of that. So that's why it's important to hang on, because these are tricky to do without hanging on. As you can see, I keep stepping off so I don't fall. All right, so those are the things you can do with the roller. The other thing I'd recommend is doing a turnout on the roller, right? So that gets your foot in more diagonal position. And you can just roll in that turnout or just stand in that turnout or a turn in. Just try that on the roller, but I'll take it off the roller. Do a turn in, right? So all of those things get the benefit. So those are the kind of standing rolling things that you can do. to really work on that foot. You want to get every part of it. You want to get it from every angle. But wait, we're not done. Other important parts of the roller are the footwork are stretches. And we're going to do one with a strap. You can bring a towel or something. And then some with your hands. So let's start with the hands. Everybody knows how to massage and stretch your foot, but I'm going to just go over it with you really carefully. Here's the thing. One of the things that happens, and I'm not saying it's you, but one of the things that happens is when people have foot issues, they immediately look for the answer in the prosthetic or in the instep, the insoles, in a different kind of shoe, all that kind of stuff. That's good. Absolutely adjust your gear, but don't ignore the foot. Don't say, well, the foot is going to be what it is. You actually have an ability to make that foot healthier. And so if you're sitting around watching TV and you have your legs crossed, take your shoe off, take your big toe and pull it up out of its socket. Do that with the rest of the toes. Just pull them up out of their socket. And we'll do this on both sides, pull them up. And then you're going to put your third finger inside your toe and just your second and third finger, push it over to the side, push it to the outside. Then use your thumb, push it to the inside, then push it forward and pull it back. Same thing with the second one, over, forward and back. Keep going across that foot, over, forward and back. And number 4, your fourth little piggy, and then your last little piggy, and you can just circle those. Now for the metatarsal and the ball of foot, you want to take your thumb and swipe across the top of it, right under your toes. Right under your toes, you swipe right across the top, right here. And you might feel some knots. I have a knot in here. You might feel some knots in that foot, right there, right across the top. And then take your palm on the ball of the foot and then push. Your fingers are on the top side of the foot. Really push it across. You're taking a high flex here, right? You're taking a high flex and then pull it back. You don't want to just work the bottom of your foot. You want to work the top of your foot. So again, some people pay attention to what's going on with the bottom of my feet, but here's where all your nerves are sitting against your shoes. So let's make sure we work against the top of our feet. Now, a lot of people use the fingers to stroke, and I also stroke the arch that way, but I also use the side of my hand because I kind of see it like bread dough. I make a little fist, I come down, and I take it. Make sure you do the outside of the instep, not just this cute curvy part. You want to get the whole thing done, right? And then I knock on my heel. Give it a little bit of thigh massage right here. The side of it, the other side of it, the bottom of it, just smack it up. And then take your hand and squeeze, 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 squeeze. Now all the way around, not just the back. Again, we are trying to deal with love of the whole foot, right? And then just take your fingers, knock it up and down the entire foot system. On the outside, on the top, all the way around, and then circle, 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 and then the other way around. Good. See, that was the first 15 minutes of whatever show you're watching. Let's go to the other side. And that leg, we're going to first start by pulling the toes, pulling them out, pulling them out, pulling them out, pulling them out. Put our fingers in, push him to the outside, push him to the inside, push him back, push him forward. Do that for every piggy. Good. And keep going down the line here. Nice. Keep it. Push, push, push. And again, we got it. We are loving those feet. We are stroking along the top of the ball of the metatarsal. You want to get that stroking in there to release the foot and the toes. You really want to get that all released. So you can actually massage on both sides there too. It's kind of a little bit of a kneading thing. right? And then with the palm, push on that ball, but also take it to the outside, right? Take it to the outside. Put your hands over your toes, flex it, high flex, and bring it back. Nice, beautiful. And then I like to stroke with my whole hand or with my fist. The side, you can use your thumb to articulate it more, whatever you want to do. I have a very healthy instep, so I feel like I can do bigger, less articulated motions there. But I like to get the other side too, because this is where the front is where I experience all my issues, except for the plantar fasciitis. But historically, the front is where I've had most of my issues, right? So we're getting that all, and squeeze that heel all the way around, not just on the back or the bottom. And then we do our knocking on the heel. Do that first, and then take it all the way up and all the way down, all the way up, all the way down, and then rotate. And then rotate the other way. All right, the strap. We're almost done here. I'm not going to keep you too long. First, we're going to put it across the top of the toes. Hold it on both sides and then push. You're pushing away from you. Then you're going to lower the strap down and do it again. Push away from you. Let me get those even in one hand. Push away from you. Feels good on the shoulders and the back too. And then on the heels, I don't like this in the instep as much because I think it strains some of the things that go down the middle. So I do it on the ball, I do it on the toe, and I do it on the heels, but not on the instep. Right, and then flex really hard. Really push that heel away from you. You can see how that foot really appreciates this. And then for the top of the foot, you're going to take it around the top, put it behind you, just in that 90-degree angle, and pull forward. Push. Push away. There we go. And then the other side, we get behind you and push away. And then bring it back to center. One of the things that I want to emphasize is to play with your feet and do not forget that these have a lot of muscles and tendons and ligaments like the rest of the body that you're caring for so much. Even though we have a lot of things to help us throughout our foot journey, being conscious about how those muscles are getting worked is really important. If you're in shoes a lot and you're not experiencing barefoot exercise, you may not feel comfortable because you may not have enough strength in your arches. So it may take a little bit of adjustment to be walking around doing a lot of barefoot exercises and getting your feet into the health that they need to be. I wear very supported shoes, have my whole life. I had 25 years of clogs. My instep was just sitting there without flexing for 25 years every time I went to work or went out in my clogs. So it's really important that we start to feel that we have some protection. Now, a lot of us are into Hokas and the shoes that really hold us because they're great for our back and our hips. Try to counterpoint those by massaging your feet in between. Because while the Hokas are doing great for the rest of our body, they're not helping support the muscles of our feet that much. They're not hurting them, but they're not helping support them. So that's kind of where I am with the feet. I hope this was helpful. I hope it just encourages you to play with your feet, not while you're eating. Okay, that's all I have to say. Thank you for coming to Fit Moment Foot Focus.
Thanks so much.